Welcome guys, it's Richard Butler, Video Community Manager here at PitchGround. Over the next number of videos, we're going to look at how you can start to segment your customers, how you can actually start automating many of the things that you want to happen depending on what your customers are doing on your website. So this is where we get into the really powerful elements of Customerly. Now, the first thing that you want to do is you want to go into the Customers tab, and I want to talk to you about this. We have all, which is everyone obviously, and we have users and leads. Now, what is the difference between a user and a lead? Let me start with a lead first. A lead is somebody who has come into your chat and entered their email address. And this is possibly the first contact that you have with them. Now, you may remember that when we set up the chat app, there was actually an option that said allow anonymous chat. So let me just refresh your memory on this. So if I go here to my picture and I go to app settings, and then I go to live chat settings, down here, you will see allow anonymous chat. Let your leads write to you without forcing them to fill in their emails. Now, I would suggest that you do ask them to fill in their emails. Why? Because you're capturing their email address, and then you can send them follow-up emails, you can send them special announcements, etc. So let's go back to customers. So you'll see that I have all leads here as 14, all users, active users. Now, if I go into all, it shows me there's 19 people in my actual funnel here. Now, let me talk to you a little bit about the information that we gather. Now, you can see that most of the leads that I have at the moment, or most of the users that I have at the moment, are actually me, okay? Now, the information that Customerly can gather is when the person was first seen, when the last page was viewed, how many web sessions they had, and the city that they actually came from. Now, this is really, really powerful information, and you're going to see in the following videos why. I can also see the browser language. I can see the type of browser they were using. I can see the country, obviously. And then if I go over here, I can see the IP address, and I can see the ISP that they came in from, when their last activity was, what their OS was, the postal code, which is actually correct here. I can see their time zone. And then I have options for username, if they possibly logged into my website, for the UTM campaigns. If you are using Google Analytics and you are actually creating a URL in order to track, this information can actually be displayed here as well. How does this work? That is the magic of Customerly, that it's reading all the headers, it's reading all the information that comes in. We don't really need to know how it works. We just need to know that it works. Now, one of the things that I actually did was I was looking at the referrer. So when somebody comes from a certain page, it's also noted here. Now, how could you use that? Well, you're going to find out in later videos. If I go to leads, I see that I have 14 leads. Okay. And what I should have with those leads is, well, it looks exactly the same, the information that I have. If I go into users, I have 5 users. Now, what are users then? Well, users are people that you have uploaded manually into the system. Where would you get these names? Well, maybe you have a mailing list. Maybe you have a contacts database, and you can enter them into this system. So if and when they do start to chat with you, well, then the system will recognize them, and you can start building up automations with those particular users. So users, people that you upload. Leads are people who come in via the chat. Which ones are more valuable? They're all valuable. So perhaps for you, people who came in from the chat are more valuable than people who are on your list because maybe they're not as active. But what we're going to look at over the next couple of videos is, first of all, how I can actually create custom segments. Then we're going to look at how I can actually set up a campaign for those people. And we're going to look at automations and how to actually automate and set up a funnel That could be a sales funnel, it could be an email funnel, etc. So this is getting into more advanced elements of Customerly. And another important thing that we're actually going to look at is how do we actually tag and how do we work with these leads as we're chatting to them. We did look a little bit at that in a previous video, but in the next video, I want to just get more into how we can actually really make Customerly work for us.